you know what you're doing. You've done some great things. Just because you think you have done some, we've all done, oh, well, look at this. This got me attention, and then I did this, and then we have this that didn't do well or it bombed. I always say, if somebody has one hit movie, they've got one hit movie. If they've got one thing that I liked, I go, they're great. I don't care if they have 10 pieces of shit.
I remember before I had a career, back when I was just like a film enthusiast, somebody that dreamed about making movies. Spike Lee he started with She's Gotta Have It, then he did School Days, and his third film was Do the Right Thing. And Do the Right Thing is an astounding achievement that's still one of my 5 favorite films of all time and still holds up today, even more now today, oddly enough, than when they made the movie. Or it's just as relevant today as in 1989, which is a sad statement on the country. So I love that movie. A couple years later, man, like he did something, I don't know, maybe it was Girl 6 or something that a bunch of people were kind of like crapping on. And my whole thing was like, hey, man, that dude made Do the Right Thing. Like, he gets a pass forever.
Right.
And
right.
Then I had a career. Thankfully, one day I heard somebody in the depths of my career when I was doing shit nobody liked, I heard somebody go like, well, at least he made Clerks. And I was like, yes, the Do the Right Thing defense. It's going to come in my favor as well.
But that's a healthy way to look at it. And of course, when the shit's piling up and we're bombing and we're like, it's how you look at it. We look at it differently then. You were probably not as optimistic, were you? You probably were like, you hit rock bottom.
I was terrified that, like, look, the first movie we made was Clerks. And I'll be the first to tell you, we were insanely overpraised. We were the flavor of the year, not even just the month. And people said such nice things about that movie and stuff. Mallrats, polar opposite experience. Now people really like the movie. It's aged well. But when it came out, critics like shit in its mouth. It did no money at the box office. The poster, which Drew Struzan painted and is fucking classic as far as I'm concerned, was confusing to people because they were like, is this a magazine? Like, it looked like the cover of a comic book. But, most people didn't get that. Comic book culture wasn't fucking that big at that time and shit. So I think to a lot of people, like, oh, this must be a new magazine coming out called Mallrats or something like that. So, like, everything that could have went wrong. And I remember being like, we're over. There was a moment, I was so early in my career where I was like, Universal gave us $5 million to make this movie. It only made $2 million. Do I owe them $3 million? Because I've got that kind of fucking scratch. So that's an instance of me going like, we're fucking finished. Like, you could find interviews with me at that time. Like, there's a Premiere magazine quote where, I was like, I've spent the summer, or I've spent the last 2 weeks, because I guess Mallrats came out like in the beginning of the fall or something like that. And I said, I spent the last 2 weeks curled up in the fetal position in a dark bedroom with a stack of bad reviews in one hand and a shotgun in the other and stuff. And, it seemed like I'm done. Chasing Amy was a Hail Mary for me because I was like, we're finished. Like, fucking nobody's going to hire me. That was it. One hit wonder. The sophomore jinx was the most terrifying thing in the world to young filmmakers, first-time filmmakers, man. If you were lucky enough to get attention for your first film, then you had to run the gauntlet of what people would make of your second film. And in my case, people made nothing of it. They were like, ugh. I remember the reviews, like, what's his name? Kenny Turan said in the LA Times, he goes, if AFI or Sundance ever offer a course on what not to do as a second feature, Mallrats should be at the heart of the curriculum. And that was the nicest part of it. Like, all the reviews were very dismissive, and the general tone was, we put this guy here with Clerks, and this is the shit he makes. Fuck these Sundance kids. Like, give him no money or whatever the fuck.